I remember it like it was yesterday. This was my spot. Up until then, my life was falling apart. My marriage was almost dead. Lost my job. Didn't see a lot of hope. And the weekend before was a big event in my wife and my life that turned things around. And I had asked her for a divorce at one moment because I was convinced I didn't love her anymore. And then I had a come to Jesus moment. I did something that you shouldn't do. I went and cheated on my wife. And that night, I was looking up at the ceiling and wondering, what am I doing here? There's a woman at home that loves me and is fighting for me. Who else would do that for me? What I didn't know is that God had been working behind the scenes, and this moment in this chair was the culmination of everything He was doing behind the scenes for me, of everything that He would do to bring me to this spot. And after I came home that Sunday morning, Sue, my wife, she asked me, she said, do you want to come to church with me? And I said, yeah, I do. I want to come to church with you. So the very next week, I felt already lighter because I've made a decision. Because I had been walking in darkness for so long. We got here that Sunday morning, and I would swear to you it was dark outside because my life was so dark, and it was the brightest, sunniest day from what I was told. And we came in, and I sat down right here. And the man preaching up there was Billy Huffman, and it was actually his very first message to the congregation, the very first time he ever preached to the congregation. And lo and behold, he was talking about backsliding. I thought it was quite humorous at the time. But the more I listened to the message, it almost felt as if everybody in the congregation disappeared but me. And he was only talking to me. And then at the end of his message, he just started with his altar call. And he maybe got 10 words into it, and I stood up. I already knew God had me. I was desperate, and I knew there was only one direction I could go. And I said yes before he even finished. Before he even finished the altar call, I knew. I was desperate, I was hopeless. And there was only one person that could help me. And that day I gave my life to Jesus. And within 4 weeks' time, God had shut every door that was my old life and began to open up every door of my new life. From that moment on, I was all in. Week 2 of my miraculous transformation from the world into the loving on Jesus was right here at the baptismal. You know, I grew up in the church and I was baptized as a kid, but you know what? I realized at that moment that I may have known all about Jesus, but I didn't know Him personally. And I thought the best way to show everybody how much His new relationship in my heart meant to me was to be water baptized. And this is where it happened right here. Pastor Rick Snow was the one that baptized me And I just remember I went down in the water, and the next thing I know, I'm coming up out of the surface, and I'm throwing my hands up. Water's going everywhere. Pastor Rick's getting soaking wet. And I just remember just the feeling of exultation, just such a celebration. I just was screaming at the top of my lungs. And it just felt like everything that was in me for years and years, buried down deep inside, just came out. And the sheer joy of what I felt from that moment, it was I tried to explain it, but I just can't. I mean, I'm trying to right now, but I can't explain the joy that God gave me to be able to share with everybody out here. This is who I am now, not who I was then. Because I died to my old self, and when I came up out of that water, I was a new person. And I felt like God was fast-tracking me into His kingdom. From 1 week I got saved. The next week I am baptized in water. And at that moment I thought, what can be better than this? Well, just when I thought it couldn't get any better than being water baptized, the very next week God brought me up into this room. It was right in that corner right there that I was filled with the baptism of the Holy Spirit. Matter of fact, if you pulled up the carpet, you'd probably see stains from all the tears that I cried. God has a way of doing things in threes in the kingdom, and He did it in 3 straight weeks for me. He saved my soul. He helped me to celebrate my relationship with Him in water baptism. And then He gave me power in this room by filling me with the Holy Spirit. My life has never been the same since. I have never looked back, and I've never regretted any decisions that I've ever made since that day. You know, there's things that have happened to me, and I can tell you point blank that my life since then has not been a bed of roses. But with His power, with His blessing, with His relationship with me, He's been able to give me the strength every day to walk forward knowing that I have hope in everything He says is true. And because of that, I can sit here today and tell you without a doubt that He is your hope. He is who He says He is. And He can do the same for you as He did for me. I guarantee it.